Welcome to the deep dive. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Today we're going deep on Bob Lazar.
Oh yeah, Bob Lazar.
A man whose claims about alien tech and secret government facilities have fascinated and frustrated people for decades.
Yeah, for decades.
Are we alone in the universe?
Right.
And if not, is the government hiding the truth?
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it?
Let's see what we can uncover as we explore the story of Bob Lazar and this element 115.
Well, what's always intrigued me about Lazar's story is how it just really taps into our fascination with the unknown.
Yeah.
Whether or not his claims are true, just the idea that there might be, alien spacecraft hidden away in some secret base, it just grabs you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It really speaks to some of our deepest fears and desires, about what might be out there.
Exactly.
So Lazar's story, I got to say, it grabbed my attention, too.
Yeah.
He burst onto the scene in the late 1980s.
Late 80s.
Claiming to have worked at this place called S4.
S4.
A top-secret facility near Area 51.
Oh, yeah, Area 51, that's the one.
And he didn't just claim to be working there.
No.
He said he was a physicist brought in to reverse engineer alien spacecraft.
I mean, come on, how could you not be hooked by that?
Yeah.
That's where it gets really interesting, right? Because his descriptions of S4 and the craft he supposedly worked on, incredibly detailed. He even went into specifics about the fuel source.
Right.
This mysterious element 115, that's the heart of it, element 115.
Element 115, what is that? Sounds like something out of science fiction, right?
Well, it kind of was at the time. When Lazar made his claims, element 115, also known as moscovium, was purely hypothetical. Scientists hadn't synthesized it yet.
Wait a minute. It didn't even exist when he was talking about it.
It's true.
That sounds a little suspicious.
Yeah, it does raise some eyebrows, definitely. But here's the twist, right?
Okay.
Scientists actually did it. They managed to synthesize element 115 in 2003.
Wow. So maybe Lazar was onto something after all.
Maybe, but hold on. Not so fast. Okay. There's a catch. This synthesized element 115, incredibly unstable. It decays almost instantly. Far cry from the stable, powerful fuel source that Lazar described. It makes you wonder if maybe he, exaggerated or misremembered what he saw.
So is it possible then that there's another form of element 115, a stable version that we just haven't discovered yet, one that could actually be used for this advanced technology?
Well, it's a question that's been debated for years. Some people argue that Lazar's descriptions, while maybe not entirely accurate, might still point to some scientific truth that we just don't fully grasp yet.
Yeah.
But, the lack of any evidence for this stable form of element 115, it's a big leap of faith.
Right. Okay. So let's say, just for a moment, that we entertain the possibility, right, that there is a stable element 115 out there. How would it even work to power a spacecraft? Didn't Lazar mention something about anti-gravity propulsion?
Yeah. He claimed that these spacecraft, they use this technology that could actually manipulate gravity, allowing them to move in ways that, completely defy our current understanding of physics.
Anti-gravity, that sounds straight out of Star Wars.
It might sound like science fiction, but honestly, the concept of anti-gravity has been a topic of serious scientific inquiry for a long time. There are theories, some in physics, that suggest it might be possible, but we are nowhere near having the technology to manipulate gravity in the way that Lazar described.
So we have this enigmatic figure making claims about alien tech, some of which seems to align with scientific possibility, some that just seems completely out there. And let's not forget the big question, the government. What do they have to do with all of this? Lazar claims they were actively trying to cover up the existence of S4 and all this alien technology.
Yeah, and have to remember, this was at a time when Area 51 itself was totally shrouded in secrecy. The government wouldn't even acknowledge its existence until much later, which really fueled the speculation and conspiracy theories.
Oh, for sure. So is it possible that Lazar really stumbled onto something real, something the government desperately wanted to keep hidden? Or was he just, a good storyteller, weaving together bits of science and speculation? We'll dive deeper into that question, and we'll explore the evidence for and against Lazar's claims in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, so let's unpack the evidence a little bit, both for and against Bob Lazar's claims.
Yeah, let's do it.
On the side of the supporters.
Okay.
One of the things they often cite are Lazar's descriptions of the alleged propulsion system. They say it's just too complex, too detailed to be fabricated. His explanations, they argue, go way beyond what someone, without a really deep understanding of physics could just make up.
So you're saying that his knowledge of science actually lends some credibility to his story.
It's a point in his favor, definitely. But we have to remember, Lazar's alleged degrees from MIT and Caltech, they've never been verified.
Oh, right.
Despite a lot of, investigations and digging, there's no official record of him attending either of those schools.
So that's a pretty big hole in his story, isn't it? If he lied about his education, what else could he be lying about?
Exactly. I mean, that's a key point that the skeptics bring up.
Right.
They argue that without those credentials, it's hard to take his claims about S4 or, reverse engineering alien spacecraft. It's hard to take any of it at face value.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're kind of left with this puzzle. Right. Detailed technical descriptions that seem to suggest some genuine knowledge.
Yeah.
But then a lack of proof to back up his actual credentials.
Right, it's a tough one.
What about the evidence surrounding S4 itself?
S4.
Is there anything out there, anything at all, that supports, corroborates Lazar's claims about this secret facility?
Sadly, no. No one has been able to independently verify that S4 even exists. We know Area 51 is real, of course.
Right.
And we know the government's done some, hush-hush classified research there. But there's no concrete evidence to support Lazar's specific claims about a facility dedicated to, alien spacecraft.
But doesn't the government's secrecy around Area 51, I mean, doesn't that just add to the whole mystery? Like, if they're hiding something that big, wouldn't they do everything they could to discredit anyone who tried to talk about it?
It's a good point, and it's a common argument from Lazar's supporters, for sure. They say, look at the government's history, especially with Area 51. All that secrecy just fuels the speculation, They must be trying to silence anyone who gets too close to the truth.
And Lazar has said that he was harassed, even threatened, after he went public with this story. Could that be evidence of a cover-up?
Possibly. But it's important to note, Lazar has never provided any hard proof of these threats. So, some skeptics, they suggest these claims might just be part of a larger narrative,
Yeah.
Something to make his story more captivating, more believable.
So it's like a classic he said, they said situation.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've got Lazar claiming to have worked on this incredible alien tech at this top secret facility.
Right.
And then you have the government, who are, predictably denying everything. It seems like at the end of the day, it all comes down to who you choose to believe.
In a way, yes. But, even if we put aside the whole debate about whether his claims are true or not, you can't deny the impact Bob Lazar has had. He's had a huge impact on our, collective fascination with UFOs, with government conspiracies, the whole thing.
Oh, for sure. He definitely put Area 51 on the map, didn't he? It's become this symbol, this symbol of, government secrecy and the idea that they might be hiding knowledge about aliens from us.
Exactly. Whether he meant to or not, Lazar turned Area 51 into this cultural phenomenon, a place that represents, all the mystery and intrigue of the unknown.
And it's still going strong. That 2018 documentary about his life and his claims brought the whole story to a brand new audience.
It did. It really did.
Just reignited the whole debate. Is he telling the truth? Is he a master manipulator? People still talking about it.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Even after all these years, Lazar's story still sparks debate, new investigations.
Right.
It seems like our desire to know the truth, or at least our desire to believe in something truly extraordinary, it's as strong as ever.
It really is. It's a story that just taps into, our deepest fears and desires, right?
Yeah.
The possibility that we're not alone and that, the people in power might be keeping that truth from us.
Powerful stuff. And even if we never know for sure what really went down at S4, if it even existed at all, the legacy of Bob Lazar and his claims, it's going to stick with us. It's going to keep intriguing and inspiring us for who knows how long.
So where does this leave us? I mean, we've really gone deep on Bob Lazar's claims. We've looked at the evidence. We've talked about what makes people believe him, what makes people doubt him. And, regardless of whether it's all true or not, this story has really captured people's imaginations. It makes you think about government secrecy, alien life, all that.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a story that honestly raises more questions than it answers. I mean, is Bob Lazar really this brave whistleblower who risked everything to tell the world what he knew? Or is he just a really good storyteller?
Right.
Someone who just spun this amazing tale, with just enough science and conspiracy to make it believable. I mean, is there any truth to this whole thing?
This Element 115, this secret facility, the alien tech, or is it all just, a mix of science fiction and conspiracy theories?
It's hard to say.
It really is.
Okay.
Because we just don't have enough solid evidence to say for sure. We're left with these conflicting pieces of information, tantalizing clues, but no real answers. And yet, the story just keeps drawing people in.
It does, and I think maybe that's what makes Bob Lazar's story so fascinating, so compelling, because it makes you think critically. It makes you weigh the evidence and really confront your own beliefs about the universe, about our place in it.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it makes you ask yourself, what if? What if there is more out there, more to our world than we can see?
Exactly.
What if our governments are hiding things from us? And what if we're not alone in the universe? I mean, these are questions that have been around for a long time, centuries. And Lazar's story, with all its mystery, just throws more fuel on that fire, doesn't it? Like a glimpse into a world we just don't understand.
It does, and it makes you wonder, maybe, just maybe, the truth really is stranger than fiction.
So what do you think? Where do you stand on Bob Lazar and his claims? Do you buy it? Do you think it's all made up?
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Have your thoughts on, government secrecy or alien life? Have they changed at all after this deep dive?
We hope so. We encourage you to keep digging into this stuff. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions. That's what it's all about.
That's the beauty of a deep dive like this. It's not about finding all the answers. It's about asking the right questions, thinking critically, and just embracing the mystery.
And of course, before we wrap up, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know your thoughts on Bob Lazar, his claims, and of course, Area 51. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep. We'll see you next time.